The views and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of Access Fort Wayne, the Allen County Public Library, or any other supporting groups. If you'd like to produce a show, call us at 260-421-1250.
Landis World Order is a great show. Landis World Order is going to be the best show. Landis World Order is just great. Remember, Landis World Order is taking over entertainment once again. Remember, Landis World Order will be the greatest show produced.
Bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit. A bullshit.
Welcome to Landis World Order. Check this out, man. Back on Happy's Place set, man. Everybody's like, Jeff, you're overplaying it. Well, I may be overplaying it, but the flashback and then me doing a tribute show is a little bit different. But today, we're going to bring back a guest who I've had on the show back in 2018, 19, around that time. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, the guy that I'm having on next came through this curtain back and forth all the time, has been on a set. And speaking before I bring on the guest, now go to my timeline on Facebook. I didn't realize that last year is when we did the tribute show, when we brought back the Happy's Place set. Kind of weird how fate and timing, I don't believe in fate that much and timing on certain things, but I reconnected with somebody who I've had on a show within a couple of years and was the very last person to be on this set. So, ladies and gentlemen, my special guest this evening is the fourth Happy the Hobo, ladies and gentlemen, Adrian Gunther. How's it going? Hopefully I said your name right.
Hey, it works for me. I call it Gunther these days, but I went by Gunther for most of my life until I met some German dude who said, dude, your name's Gunther.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
So how
you been, man?
I have been fantastic. Thanks. It is so good to be back on this set. You really got me kind of scared, like he was the last person on the set, like that. That's kind of scary. I was trying to remember, was I the last person on the set? Did something bad happen? Is it a crime scene? I don't know. But, you know, I want to talk later on today about those curtains there.
Okay, for
and,
sure.
And what's behind the curtains. Nobody ever asks you that, but if you see that sign, it says Happy's Place.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
right there.
I mean, this isn't Happy's Place. This is the common area where Happy gathers with his friends and frogs and Lawn Boy, of course, Chester the Frog, all his pals. But I'm saying, and all the guests and all that. But that's not just what happens, because Happy's real place is behind the curtain. So we'll get there. I understand that you have been working on this concept of what, you know, like sort of this fractured universe. What if Happy the Hobo never stopped? It's been 24 years since that show's.
That long?
It's been 24 years since that show was last on. But what if, in some odd universe, Happy's Place could come back? You know anything about that universe? Have you been thinking about that?
Well, like I told you during our interview we had, and you know, this show is something I've always watched when I was a kid. Come home, rush to watch it. I was on it once. I wish I could find that darn footage. I wish I could find that darn footage. No, you know, you're fine.
Public access. I love it. I love state. This is great. This is so much fun.
I just think it's cool that I'm actually on set with Happy the Hobo. Because you know what I mean? Because last time we tried to do this with the set, we couldn't find it until.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. You were having a hard time, like, bringing back the vibe. So good job getting the set back here. That's a piece of Fort Wayne history that many of us of a certain age know and love. I myself, you know, grew up as a kid watching Mike Fry, the original Happy the Hobo, the man, and may he rest in peace. He was a legend, is a legend, and he's in my heart, and I think your heart too. You know, obviously. I mean, this is just a character I played. And I think it's time for that character to come back to life. That's just my opinion. I would love to see it happen. I'm on to other projects. Love to talk to you about that.
Oh, we will for sure.
Good.
But
Good.
before we get to that, so again, I said going on my timeline as well and realizing that we reconnected.
Yeah.
And with timing as well. So I want to show you something that we did 4 parts, but the third part, you were pretty much part of the Happiest Place tribute show because you were the last Happy the Hobo, and then there's footage of you with JJ and Chad, footage with you interviewing kids playing the
Goofy game
Goofy
Rama.
Sorry, I'm excited. But you know what I mean. And then I showed our interview with me and you again. But there's one thing that I want to show you, get your opinion of, because again, you always hear there's passing the torch of somebody. You know, I said this in you. I got faith in you. So I wanted to get your opinion because you were the very last Happy the Hobo.
Yeah.
And you played it to
killed
heart.
the franchise.
No, you didn't.
Buried it.
Adrian, you did not know.
No, I
know you are. I know you are. But here's a year ago, which I think is kind of awesome.
It's a zodiac thing, man. It's astrological. It's astronomical.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's when I did a Happiest Place tribute where I dressed up as Happy. So we're going to watch, and he's going to watch it his first time and get his opinion. Roll the footage. Hey! Welcome everybody to Dos Landis, part 1, 2, and this is 3. So, you know, we are going over reviews, and this is the behind the scenes show of everything. Again, you see behind the scenes of the makeup being put on. All kinds of things. And you can see the interview with the third and final Happy the Hobo. So, as I'm going down the comments, again, I'm all about feedback. You guys know I'm about feedback. And then we took a picture of we haven't showed the whole shebang yet of the Happy the Hobo thing yet. So, people are saying, do they smell a reboot? So, I want to get on a serious note. Again, this is a fun, happy show. Hence happy. But I remember years ago, Chris, you were the witness of this. Wesley, you're the witness of this. Years ago, I wanted to do kind of a reboot. I wanted to do something similar to Happy's Place. Again, like I said, we live in a day and age where the kids are different. People react to different things. And I wanted to do it, but people were like, oh, you're gonna be stepping on the shoes, let Happy and the legacy die of Happy the Hobo. Again, Happy the Hobo is the reason why I'm on TV. I'm gonna tell you why. But anyways, people are saying, oh, don't do a reboot, you know, let Happy do his thing. Now it's kind of crazy on how we just posted the picture of the face paint. And people are like saying, you could be the next Happy the Hobo. We smell a reboot, people, we ought to rush home to watch it. Again, don't wish for something that you might get. But as I was saying before, I used to get hate comments about all this stuff. And I remember when I got a shirt made of Happy the Hobo. Oh, you're just trying to make, I'm not making any money off doing this. I'm showing tribute to somebody that, you know, that I looked up to and doing TV shows. But as I was saying, people are talking about a reboot. I don't know yet, because I got my own thing that I do, but again, your feedback is important to me. I've been doing TV since I was 14, and your guys' feedback matters to me. So again, you never know. But anyways, before we get on the subject of showing the clips of the behind-the-scenes stuff that we're doing, I want to thank my crew, great crew. Thank you guys very, very much for coming today. You guys made the best of it, from Chris, from everybody doing camera. Just, I'm not trying to be teary-eyed or anything, but thank you guys very much from the bottom of my heart. And like I said before, this is my 28th anniversary show, by the way. Special tribute to Happy the Hobo. It's my anniversary show, showing my thanks to Mike Fry, Adrian, Phil, Craig Beaverson that did Froggy. Speaking of that too, you also get to see me meeting with Froggy, not in this. So the History Center had a thing with the Happy's Place, and I got Froggy. So I got to do a segment with Froggy. I mean, not the voice itself, but just, you know what I mean. Take advantage of what you could get. So we got that. But before I get on to showing the whole thing, I'm not trying to be sentimental. But I was on Happy's Place back in, I don't remember, but I emulated Dukes of Hazzard. And I went on, I said, my name is Bo Duke. So I grabbed the microphone from him, blew in it, it's like, retard. I said that to Happy the Hobo. Now look where I'm at on TV. But I also did the hula hoop thing, and I lost, but I also said, we'll be right back. So again, I wish I had that footage, but again, like I said, if it wasn't for Happy the Hobo, I wouldn't be where I am today. They always say, never forget where you come from. Who else is going to recreate Happy's Place and do a tribute show? Nobody else is, so I'm going to do it. But thank you to my crew. But ladies and gentlemen, here's some clips of behind the scenes and the wacky stuff you see. Okay, then I'm going to... Wow. So before we get on to your honest opinion, and be honest with me, I've had all kinds of criticism, but how does it feel to be on set again?
Fantastic, man. I'm telling you, this is a magic place. Magic place, lots of memories, lots of ghosts in those little, there's a frog back there, and, all kinds of stuff happening. And so it just feels good to be back in public access studios again, too. There's something about a studio like this. It's magical. Behind those curtains, people, they're off on the side. You don't even see them. I found a box that said Uncle Ducky's Props. I'm like, Uncle Ducky's Props! I was so excited. Like, only here could you find a box of Uncle Ducky's Props, and only in my basement, or the underhouse. It's a very specific type area. Only in my underhouse can you find Happy the Hobo props. I feel blessed. So Uncle Ducky, Doug Wiley, thank you so much for what he's done as well. But yeah. Let's talk about you and what you did. I got a few pointers, okay?
Go ahead.
Number one, super excited, right? Number two, you remind me exactly of myself. The very first moment I was on TV as that character, both of us buried the mic. We were so excited. We jumped. You're like, I am Happy the Hobo, and I'm on camera for the first time, and we both screamed, you and I. And so you got to keep that voice under control, or use a farther away microphone, and cut out your lavalier. Your eyebrows were too big. Yeah, okay, you got to tighten those eyebrows, man. They need to be bigger than a normal person's. Other than that, your face makeup was impeccable. Maybe a little more red on the nose. I want to be able to see that dot a little better. And this is very important. You need glasses. You need something big, bold. You can pop the lenses out. You don't have to use, you just need to have the impression of glasses. And Happy the Hobo almost always. Now, not Mike, because Mike had great hair, but when I was playing the character, and I did it for a very long time, 6 years, I had my hair, so I always wear a hat. And you got to wear a hat, man. It was a perfect hat in Uncle Ducky's box, but you're going to have to ask Doug to borrow that from him.
That's true.
So all of that, and I'm ready. You're a little too classy to be Happy the Hobo. So that shirt, you're wearing a silk shirt, man. I don't know if you're dining with the mafia, having spaghetti, or if you're truly a hobo. I think you might be a hobo on the take in a silk shirt. So I want to see you. I'll take you shopping. Okay. I'll show you the type of clothing Happy would wear. Okay. I want you in suspenders. The vest was a pro choice. High five. So you got your vest, you got your makeup. Your pants were pretty good. Nice trousers.
I got that at a thrift store too.
Yes, that's what you got to do. Happy the Hobo always got his clothing from the thrift store. Small exception, he did have a tailored outfit that was just for flexibility, for performance and whatnot. But the hat is where I'm going. You got to have that hat. I mean, I already told you that, but don't forget the hat.
No, somebody else told me on
So,
Facebook as well.
other than that, and here's the other thing, you gotta tell jokes, my man. You can't go on TV, I'm happy the hobo and I really miss, you can't go on there crying about it and sniffling. You gotta take your medicine. You can't let your sniffles come out or you were congested in that taste.
Yeah.
So we don't want to hear that as an audience. The kids don't like that. We want to have fun. We want to tell jokes. We want to play games. You are the perfect man for it. That's the bottom line. And I'm going to pass the name. I don't know if you guys can feel this at home, but there is a surge of energy passing from my body and into Jeff Landis's, up his arm. I don't know. Tell me what it feels like to you. Do you feel it?
Yeah, I feel it. Look, you see,
Now,
I feel it.
when I disengage, you will henceforth be known as the next Happy the Hobo. Been done.
Wow.
The ceremony has been concluded. It is, I want your autograph. Happy the Hobo, nice to meet you, buddy. Nice to meet you, Happy the Hobo.
Thank you. Oh, wow. You said not to be sentimental. Oh, dang. Oh, man. So you're dead serious. You would love to.
Jeff, you can't take it back. We just performed the ceremony.
Yeah.
Only I know the ceremony.
I know. But
Okay?
like,
It only happened a couple times. It happened once between Mike Fry and Philip Koglaser. It happened again between Philip Koglaser and Adrian Gunther, then Gunther. And it just now happened between Adrian Gunther, then Gunther, and Jeff Landis. You can't undo it. You cannot undo this thing, Jeff. So don't even ask about seriousness because, honestly, you're going to have to go find the next Happy the Hobo. I have been looking for 24 freaking years. Last person on the set, and now I finally found him. Now I can rest easy and move on with my own personal pursuits.
Wow. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. We're still going to be on. Are you going to be being on set still?
Yeah, I'm here, man. I don't think. Do we really go away? Are there commercials
No.
in this world?
No, not in this world.
Okay, just
but,
stay there for a few more seconds. We're gonna be in chairs. Spoiler alert.
But before you see that, these are legit tears. I mean, I'm legit crying. Right here, I'm legit crying, man. See that? Wow. I'm lost for words. Like I said before, if I don't succeed as Happy the Hobo, I am retiring from the entertainment business. Because I just had the biggest thing in my life, besides my kids being born and me being married, happen to me. Oh, damn. We'll be back. Shit. Here I am, Jeff, with Adrian. How's it going?
Good, man. I gotta sign this. Hold on. Olivia needs this signature quick.
Yeah. Let me get this out of the way.
There we go. There she goes. Olivia. Best fan ever. And I'll say why, Olivia, because you're still a fan. And I think it's you and Jeff right now, and that's fine. A couple fans is great, so thank you for sticking in. HTH forever, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm glad to have you back on the show, too.
Hey, super happy to be here, Jeff. You're a good guy, man. You have been so integral to this community. Your passion for just getting out there predates all social media, and you were basically a visionary. Like you were meant to be born in this day and age. I'll tell you that.
Thank you. Here I am, Happy the Hobo Jeff Landis. Well, I'm not dressed as him right now, but I just got back from the bathroom with let me tell you, my tears pretty much made the Niagara Falls of Fort Wayne in the studio because of this man right here, Adrian.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no problem.
I just think it's crazy on how the timing, like I said before, the timing is just impeccable because been a year since the tribute show and been a couple
Yeah,
years since I interviewed you.
there's nobody better suited in their heart to be Happy the Hobo than you.
Thank you.
So,
Means a lot. You heard it first today.
Yep. Now, it's not just fun and games. It's more than just, oh, I'm Happy the Hobo now. I got to test you out here. I got a kid here. Let me see. This is okay. So you got to deal with real life situations. And remember, I had years of experiences, lots of parades, lots of birthday parties, you name it. I even opened haircutting stores. Yeah. If you can ever get to that level where you're like there at the grand opening of where kids are going to get their hair cut, it's pretty much, I mean, it's glitz, it's glamour, there's lotions, it's nice. But anyway, you've got to, it's not all fun and games. So this is the first thing I had to hear when I stepped out of that curtain to those kids for the very first time. You're not Happy the Hobo!
Ooh.
How are you going to handle that? You're not Happy the Hobo? The kids, they're all used to the, well, you're lucky because modern kids are going to be like, who's Happy the Hobo? Yeah. That's really what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So you have a chance here because of that. But I had to face the you're not. But kids will say the darndest things, and you just got to be there. You got to be ready. How are you going to make this? Tell this girl a joke, okay? Hey, funny guy, tell me a joke. You're a clown, right?
Yeah. I'm a clown.
Okay, so make me laugh. Isn't that what clowns do? Make me laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on the spot, so I'm trying to figure out what I can make you laugh.
Yeah. Tell me about a chicken crossing a road or something, man.
What did chicken cross the road for?
Why? I don't know. It's your question.
So they could be McNuggets.
Ooh. Corporate sponsorship. Love it. Okay.
But
I think you got this. Yeah, that was perfect. I think you were ticking all the boxes. I was keeping track. Good job.
Oh, thank you.
Left hand.
But because you told me, because I remember the first time we did the interview, you told me that you were nervous and you had to figure out how to do it. Because
you have to find your own way. Every person that played Happy, including Cousin Happy, we can't, never don't give a shout out to good old Cousin Happy. But everybody that ever wore those suspenders and that cap, had to develop it for themselves, had to find their own inner Happy. And you of all people have your own inner Happy. Just redirect what you're doing and try to be funny. That's what I'm telling you. You got to be funny.
I will. Again, like I said, that was the tribute that I was.
Here, let me tell you how to be funny. I wrote this. What's the very best street in Fort Wayne, Indiana?
Harry Balls?
No. See, that's the whole point. It's Superior Street.
Oh, okay.
That's hilarious.
That's true.
Harry Balls. Is there a street called?
Yes, there actually is.
Okay.
Yeah, they were trying to do like actually one of the.
Well, I guess you just got to pick your audience. You got to, and actually my joke is horribly unfunny, and that's the point. You got to be a lot funnier than that. So, and sometimes it comes down to, taking a pratfall, letting somebody dump some water on your head. You're going to have to blow up a balloon or two, my man. You're going to have to learn to twist them into dogs and stuff. But that's okay. That's the fun part,
Yeah.
I'll get you sorted. I'll teach you how to make dogs and flying, stinging insects and balloon flowers, all kinds of stuff, whatever you need.
The very first show, when I start doing this again, would you be willing to be my executive producer, try to help me out so I can...
Oh, yes. I will definitely be the executive producer on this project to whatever degree. I will definitely need my name at least fifth on the list of executives.
You'd be on the top one for sure.
Sure. Yeah, I'll executive produce for public access to my limited abilities. Heck yeah. On any day of the week. Thanks, man.
Just honored that you're having me do this again. Like I said, the timing is a thing. It is.
Timing
really,
seems to fall by the clock, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's just always involved with itself. Tick tock, tick tock.
Speaking of timing.
Yeah.
Now I noticed that, like I said, we haven't talked in a couple of years ago. We reconnected, and you always hold me with arms like you've known me forever. Because you call me brother, and again, like you accept me. And it means a lot because, again, like I said, you've been doing,
You're a legend, Jeff.
I don't see it.
Okay.
I'm,
No.
I'm just saying because people say that. But
I mean,
don't see
no.
it.
I mean, you're a human being. Of course. I mean, you deserve as much respect as anybody else. So don't. You should not be surprised. And if you are surprised by somebody showing you respect, then you're hanging out with the wrong people, my man. Fist bump.
That's true.
All right. You can make a meme out of that,
Okay, that we will.
or whatever
sure.
they call those things.
And one thing that shocked me too is I made the Fort Wayne history book too.
Fantastic. Tell me about that.
So Mark Souder, rest in peace. He was doing a book about TV from 1988, so like in the 80s to now. And I like this thing because I was really good friends with him. We talked here at Public Access because I'm an admin for a great histories thing. And I liked it, and he, ding! Oh, by the way, you're a footnote in the history book. And I was getting off the bus, going to work, literally going, and like I said, I literally started crying because I'm like, I never thought in a million years I'd be in a history book, even though I'm doing public access.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow. So again, it shocked me. So when people say I'm a legend and stuff like that, I'm like, no, I'm just me. But again, when stuff like this happens to me,
Okay, let me use another word. You're persistent. You've not gone away ever, no matter how many challenges you faced in your personal quest to provide information, entertainment, community, culture to this area that we all share and love. And so you're a heavy user of public access. You always have been. A predecessor, of course, to current social media. You are a visionary. You were a visionary, and you are. And so it's like people didn't get you when you first came about, right? I mean, that's okay because you never went away. And you're still here. And Happy's been gone 24 years. So I have more faith in you carrying on Happy the Hobo's tradition as anything else. I need to plug, or I want to plug what I'm up to these days.
That's what
real
I was
quick,
gonna say.
because I know you're going to go on and do what you do with this, but
let's talk about you.
well-
What you got currently going on?
well, I'm the executive producer of a reboot of Happy's Place, starring Jeff Landis. That's number one. Another thing that I'm really excited about is at a very recent point in my life, which is, I'm talking maybe the last 6 months, I realized that I'm an artist, a painter with acrylics and canvas and all that. My favorite is to go out to the local Goodwill or the Salvation Army and get, things people have donated that are really good. They have really good bones for painting on, and then I paint over them, and I have frame. You get your frame that way, and it's just really cool. And you're recycling, so I do a lot of new and recycled artwork. I've recently sold my first piece, and so when I did that, in fact, it dropped today on my Instagram. My first piece dance.
What is your Instagram, by the way?
At ARG the artist, ARG the artist. My name is Adrian Robert Gunther, and I use my initials ARG because they're very piratey. So and it's only 3 letters to sign every painting. It's just efficient. But so at ARG the artist on Instagram, a lot of fun. Check me out there. I will be showing next year in Fort Wayne, Indiana, in early 2024. No details to provide you yet, except it will be an expansive collection of my work for at least a month. So I'm excited to expose Fort Wayne, to stay in the community. I want to redouble my efforts to, being part of Happy's Place was wonderful, and I still have many cherished relationships, including the one with you, from those years. And just like getting into the art world and starting to walk and talk with the local artists, the people that have been bleeding in the streets for art, while I was just unaware of its place in my life or what it would become. It's amazing. The art community in Fort Wayne is, at least the people I've had a pleasure of meeting, is incredible. And so I'm excited about the journey and exposing the town. So I think I'm going to provide your director. Wesley's going to get some pictures. Hopefully you'll probably see them on the screen here later a little bit, or maybe as I'm talking you've been seeing them. This is the magic of TV. You can literally put anything on the screen. So thank you for supporting that with me as well.
Oh yeah, it's interesting. Like I said, we hooked up again and connected, and I see your art. You post it every day.
Every day I post. So on Instagram, you get a video every day. You get a fresh painting. And the video is typically about that painting. I believe that if you know the context of art, even if the art is maybe not as accessible to you, maybe if you're not really resonating with what it's about, or the colors, or the subject, or the blocking, whatever, at least if you can hear from the artist some little, why that is a piece of their soul. I try to use humor. You know, I've been telling you, you got to be funny, and I'm not real. I'm trying to find. There's 2 million plus or something. I don't know, billion or something. There's a lot of Instagram users, and I'm trying to find the people, my community, and I have been. It's amazing to connect with. That's another thing, not just the Fort Wayne community. It actually started with the worldwide community of artists and in Instagram. So you get a video, you get a fresh painting, because I paint something new at least every day. And you get a preview of what's to come tomorrow. Just a little teaser from somewhere on the canvas, that just enough to make you maybe think, what is that? Almost like a piece of a puzzle. And then you might wonder, I wonder what the whole thing looks like. But you got to wait till noon the next day to find out.
Now, how long does it take you to do some of these arts? Because again, looking at these pictures that's something that we're showing, and from what I've seen on your page daily and stuff like that, because it looks like that's a lot of work to do.
It depends. You know, some pieces I've worked on. There's one piece I painted years ago before I knew I was an artist, and it was good enough to put up, but it always bugged me. I'm like, eh. And 10, 15 years later, I did one thing. I did 10 minutes more work, because I had sort of learned some stuff or figured some stuff out. And now it's a complete thought. So that one took 12 years, but I wasn't painting it for 12 years. I was thinking about it. But usually I could paint something in 10 minutes that is a foundation, and then I come back to it, spend another half hour. But something, I could spend hours or minutes, depending on the subject. Or we use this term of looseness. So if you think about the realm of reality to abstract, right? So the simplest painting is a big white paintbrush of white. Take it, grab any color, boom, done. 30 seconds. What do you see? It's a Rorschach, right? But if you want to go from Rorschach to meaning, Rorschach to emotion, Rorschach to political messaging, you got to spend more time. So it's just what are you in the mood for, and how's this strike? Oh, I'm also working on illustrating a children's book with a friend of mine.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's that kind of art too. My art's very childish, so if you know Happy Hobo, I've even painted Happy the Hobo with a knife.
I remember you said something to me.
Yeah, but it's okay. He's about to juggle that knife. So anyway, speaking of Happy the Hobo again, I just want, before we go, congratulate you. I'm going to be watching you closely. Obviously, I'm your executive producer, so you're going to have to definitely listen to what I have to say.
Of course, because I can't just do it.
And we'll
right
get
off
you
the
to wardrobe as soon as we can.
Okay, I appreciate it. Now, before we go, you seen the I'm sorry, I'm excited and nervous at the same time. The past has been torched. We're talking about your art. We got a couple minutes. What is your favorite thing that you've done with art, or you still have a favorite one yet?
It's usually whatever I just finished. Sometimes I make something, I'm like, that didn't exist, and now it does, and for whatever purpose, it brings joy to me, and other people looking at it brings me joy too. It's just like, look, here's a piece of my soul. Get a glimpse of it, boom, and then move on. Okay, now you know me a little better, and I know you a little better. We're closer. So it's often the most recent thing I did. I just love, it's really about the subjects I enjoy. I love clowns. I paint a lot of clowns, but I usually do creepy. I mean, you can't help but make clowns creepy. They're no offense, but they're creepy sometimes. And so all the movies doesn't help much.
That's true.
But so I paint clowns and toys and A-frames hidden in the mountains on a surprisingly cool September morning. I mean, you never know.
Now, before we go,
You got to go on Instagram. I mean, if you want to know what I like, and you won't go there, but you get the crumbs on Facebook. I know you do. You're getting crumbs. Yeah. You're not getting videos. You're not getting previews. Crumbs.
He wants me to, so go to his Instagram.
At Arg the Artist, ARGTHEARTIST.
Thank you guys for watching the the torch being passed, the interview with Adrian, what's going on. I'm still lost for words right now.
You're never lost for words.
Oh yeah, that's true. Because the next show I'll be talking about Fort Wayne Wizards and stuff. So coming up next, Fort Wayne Wizards show, and then after that we will be doing me interviewing a big-time race car driver along with Wesley's footage, and also we're gonna be going on my favorite movie with the Wizard of Oz set. Don't you love the?
I love the Wizard of Oz.
Yes, Wizard of Oz is one of my favorite movies.
Dude, I just posted Alphaba yesterday, The Wicked Witch.
Oh, I need to
With
check
my
it out.
1950s or 1970s Migos. They're 50 years old. Got the whole collection, even the Wizard. Hey, I gotta go. See you guys. Bye.
See you guys later. Wesley TV in Silver Spotlight. I'm taking over Bill's spot, so you take mine, put one on our show.
So excited to watch you.
Wesley TV's having much to say. How's it going, man?
It's
Going good. We're here at Crazy Things and having a good time. We're racing at Indianapolis Motor Speedway this weekend, so kind of just hanging out with fans, meeting people, and like I said, having a good time. There's a lot of stuff you can do here: go-karting, arcade, bowling. So it's a fun place, all in one spot. It's cool.
So how long have you been racing?
I started go-karting at 4 years old, and yeah, I've been racing ever since. So got into racing cars when I was about 12, and did my first Indy 500 senior year of high school.
Anything to say to the fans that's watching the show right now?
Just tune in this Saturday. It's gonna be epic. You know, at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and if you're in town, you can go to the race. There's gonna be NASCAR racing. There's gonna be IndyCar racing. So all different types of racing, and yeah, just cheer on the number 45 car. It's gonna be serious.
Check it out. Stay tuned for more.
All right, as you guys head out onto the track, you'll notice a bunch of different icons. There are good ones and there are bad ones. The good ones will be the dollar signs and the question marks. The dollar signs will increase your max speed, and the question marks will give you power-ups. The power-ups that you receive will be displayed on the TV screen, and then a green button will light up behind your steering wheel. You'll hit that green button to activate your power-up. The red button will only work in the event of emergency. All of the other icons on the track you'll want to avoid, as they will slow your cart down and take away your power-ups. You guys have any questions? All right, this is a really important race, so I hope you guys know what you're doing.
I can always edit stuff out.
It's way more complex than just, you know, like, you get the, you know, like you have to follow the rules. Use the power-ups, and don't be afraid to push the pedal to the metal, metaphysically speaking. And it's that kind of dynamite drop-in information that makes you the best color commentator in sports. That's good stuff, Hank. So if we're cool here, I'm gonna dip, you know? Duty calls. Sounds good, dude. Let's get back to racing action.
All right, here we go.
Sergeant, real quick. You all right? Oh, shit. Say hi, Andrew.
You ready to go? Go!
Don't stop on the track and pass during a yellow flag. If you spin out, use the reverse button to turn yourself back in the right direction. And if you need help, just raise your hand and an employee will come to you. Hey, it's almost that time. Let's have fun.
Yeah. How you feel, man?
That was a rough way.
Feel good?
So what? I lost my hat.
And this.
And a golf club.
Well, how do you feel, man? After, you okay?
Those of you who just raced, you are good to exit. The exit will be behind you.
Nice and easy, no need to run. Then you have another race and can't wait to see you back on the track. It's Surfside Speedway.
Thank you.
I told you. I told you where I am.
Did you see that?
Who won race? We're here talking about karaoke the whole time.
We're not at the farm.
Did we get to go on again or right again?
Yeah, that was
Hey,
right behind you. Here, you gonna get the shot? Wes, you gonna get the shot?
I didn't use my card.
Hey, what's up? This is on Western TV, Landis water. We're mixing this with mixing for Western TV and Wizard of Oz. So yeah, we're doing the Wizard of Oz and the race car, Nascar driver. But don't forget, the next show coming up is the season finale. We got the invitation over there, so what number will he be at the season finale? Again, thanks for Western TV for letting me mix the Wizard of Oz and interview with him. So the question is, what number is he going to be? Because I'm putting him in a drawing as well. So I'm going to put him in a drawing so he could be number 1, number 10, number 20. Send me that now so I remember.
Oh, no turning off that one is hard.
Yeah, man, power up racing. Awesome, right? Like, wow. Like, wow, this is exactly right, you goodness. These new power up racing cars are real. It's special. Racing system that really focuses on the skill over the ground. Yeah, like it's way more complex than just, like, injecting,
Jeff! That's like it, Jeff! This is up there killing!
Yeah, man, and I'm not one to abide with authority, but on this track, like, breaking the rules is no bueno.
Oh, that's it. Whoa! Whoa!
You got it, man. To be successful, you have to follow the rules, use the power-ups, and don't be afraid to push the pedal with the metal, metaphysically speaking. And it's that kind of dynamite drop-in information that makes you the best coach commentator in sports. Let's get stuff hanging up, so if we're cool here, I'm going to hit, man. Let's get back to racing action.
Oh my, he's just killed! Wait. Jeff, you didn't be too chill now. You're too chill, Jeff! so cute, Jeff. Woo! Whoa! Whoa! Don't fall! You can't fall asleep now! What? Don't try to fall asleep now!
Oh, my legs off.
Hey, Taylor here with my great friend Jeff Landis, who helped me win the Mayor's Trophy in the Three-Rivers Festival Parade, so I went out and got everyone who helped me get that award. A small trophy as a thank you, because it's the least I could do for them helping out and having an awesome time. So this is the trophy I'm going to present to you, Jeff, with your name engraved on it and what we won.
Nice.
So if you haven't seen our Three Rivers Festival excursion this year, go check it out. And check out Dose of Landis, Wesley's TV, and Heart of Japan on YouTube, Access Fort Wayne, Fios 55, Comcast 25, all that good stuff. And yeah, just thank you so much, Jeff. I appreciate it.
I had fun, man. I know, granted, we had a rough start at the beginning of it, but after the end of the thing, Taylor's like, "Damn, everybody knows you, Jeff." So yeah, I definitely look forward to doing this again. Again, like so, it's the second award I won. I won a Woden Award for being the most memorable guest on a radio show.
Oh, neat!
Yeah.
Awesome.
So this is going like right next to that.
Yeah.
So yeah, this
Awesome.
is the season finale of Landis World Order. This is one of the segments we're doing. I was about to say, yeah, you know how it is.
Yeah.
So well, thank you very much.
You're welcome. I appreciate you and your help, and your support for our Japan and all that stuff. And I try to support you guys' shows as much as possible. So we just need to get Jerry Armstrong in here. That's all.
Yeah, like I
Magic
said,
Jerry.
that's true. Like I said, check it out. It's on 4 or 5 shows before this. When we did the full circle, I showed different varieties of Wesley's side, the person I was recording, our side. So again, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Well, thank you for your help. Have a great one, folks.
And if you want,
Welcome to a special edition of A Dose of Landis, ladies and gentlemen. My special guest, ladies and gentlemen, this evening is none other than the one, the only, Happy the Hobo. Check this out, guys. Oh my God, he's here. Happy the
yeah,
Hobo.
man.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good.
Oh my God, wow, this is kind of cool.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on. Hey, I'm Jeff Landis along with
Adrian Gunther, former Happy the Hobo. I was the 4th guy to play the character, if you count Cousin Happy, and I drove the franchise right into the ground.
Oh, why would you say that? So how did it come about? Because I guess that there's been like 3 or 4 Happies, you said.
Yeah.
How did you come about and be like, hey, I want to do this?
Well, as a kid, I watched Mike Fry, who was the original. Back then, we didn't have cable. My family didn't have cable. Channel 55 was the closest, it was like free TV. Leave It to Beaver and the Little Rascals and cartoons, and so I always watched Happy's Place, and I watched Happy would juggle a lot, and I really thought that was cool, and I had a cousin that juggled too, so I was watching Happy, and I kind of caught like how to juggle by watching him, and I practiced and practiced, taught myself at the age of 12. And so growing up through school, I was kind of known, with my peer group as a juggler, and I was juggling knives and baseball bats and clubs and you name it, whatever. Any 3 objects is my best trick. I take any 3 objects and juggle them as long as I can lift it. And as long as it's not a balloon, because you get me on the other side of that, and that's tricky. But the job opening came up. Somebody left a voice message. I had a answering machine, and I remember coming home. I was in my early 20s playing that play button. The guy's like, hey, they're happy the hobo job's open. It's in the newspaper. And I thought of you because of your juggling and all that. I was also a clown at Pizza Hut on East State. You probably remember this. Tuesday nights, I was the guy that came around and made the balloon animals. Wonko the clown. And I don't think you remember it. You'd have to be there on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
But so I was already a clown. I had some practice, and I actually got the job by accident. So it said, I got the newspaper, and the ad said, send us your resume and a tape. And so what I did was I had a Smith Corona typewriter, and I put a piece of paper in there, and I start making up a resume. That was before the age of templates, and I didn't know what the heck I was doing. So I said, I can juggle balls, knives, scars, and just kind of listed like those kind of things that I did, that I was a clown on the deal. And then I got my tape recorder, and I made a tape just kind of sort of restating some of the facts from my resume. I've been a clown for X amount of time. I loved Happy. I grew up with him, and he taught me how to juggle, and blah, 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 blah. Well, I got called into an interview eventually, but I found out years later the gentleman that hired me told me my resume was atrocious. I had no real experience, and the only reason I got the job is because I misinterpreted they were asking for a tape, and apparently they wanted a videotape of my professional on-television career. And so they were looking for seasoned entertainers because, they had a classical property here. So they gave this kid a chance just based off of, he was driving home from work and popped the cassette, and he's like, what's this? And pops it in and just hears me begging, and asked his wife, and they called me in. And what was cool, the audition, it was in a studio very much like this, and they just said, come in and do your thing. So everybody that auditioned for the job at the time, they came in and I saw some of the old audition tapes, like people playing spoons and doing song and dance. You name it, massively entertaining people. And but then they did an important step, is they took all the tapes to the gentleman's wife actually was I think a 5th grade teacher, but took it to the 5th grade classroom and got some voice of the customer. Played all these tapes for the kids and had the kids decide who to hire. So I thought that was kind of cool.
So the kids got to decide your future.
Sort of gave me a mandate from the actual audience that I would be.
A question I definitely got for sure. You say you've done it since 1999, and you came in.
No, I did it from 93 to 99.
Okay, so you did it that long. Do you still have the itch to do it again? Because I know we kind of talked about it when I first started talking to you.
It was fun. It was a great, I came out here today, so this is fun. I figure you're my last fan, so, I got to honor that because that's something special. The fans are great. And, I'd entertain. I do some stuff. I've done some events and whatnot, but for the most part, my life is very different now than it was in my 20s, and different responsibilities. And, if this is the closest I'm going to get to the David Letterman Netflix special, so I want to thank you for that, getting me that, so I can put that on my resume. I was almost on David Letterman because I was on A Dose of Landis.
Yeah.
It's the same spectrum, just another talk show.
Yeah.
And public access versus Netflix. No big deal. It's on demand, I hear, just like Netflix. So I'm basically on Netflix. This is on demand.
Oh, yeah.
People are demanding to see this right now.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But it's kind of crazy on you. Like I said, you've done TV for years, too, and I've done TV for years. What do you think about the aspect? Say, for instance, if I'll just say another producer came up and like, hey, Adrian, would you want to do Happy This Place again?
Yeah.
how would you feel of the change? Because right now things have changed. Like I said before, I love doing TV. I've been doing TV since I was 14.
I would love it. It would be more like what you do. It'd be social media. I mean, the demand for content is out there. So as long as you are feeling creative, as long as you're able to pump out new content, because it seems like the YouTube channels, people are insatiable. They want more and more content, right?
Yeah.
So as long as you have the energy for that, and I mean, here's the thing. You ask if I'd want to do. I could create a YouTube channel. I mean, anybody can, right?
Oh yeah.
I just haven't gotten around to it.
Well, it's kind of hard now that you got your career and your in your regular life, and then you got family. So, like I said, it's crazy how things change from then to now.
Yeah.
Like I said, now we got the social media going, and like I said, you know, Happy Space has made an impact on me and thousands of people. And I mean, it's just crazy. People still talk about it to this day. And the reason why I wanted to bring you on, not only to keep the memory alive, but you know, it means a lot to me because, like I said, I'm getting goosebumps because I've talked to you about this before. I watched this as a kid, and this inspired me to do what I'm doing today.
Yeah, you were big. So when I got your friend request, you know how you get friend requests and you kind of recognize the name and you're like, oh, they must be my cousin's brother's friend's uncle or whatever. I saw Jeff Landis and I'm like, I know that guy. He must be my relative. But then once I started watching, I'm like, oh, he's that kid. You're that kid. You were before YouTube. Before anything, you were out there with public access, I believe, was your format, and still is to this day. So I have deep respect for the fact that we're sitting here. I don't know how old you are now, but I'm guessing
38.
I'm guessing 20 or 30 years have passed since you were 14.
25 years of doing this.
25 years, and you're still doing it. So you still have the energy. So I appreciate that. I was talking to Lawn Boy. I tried to talk Lawn Boy, who was a character on the show with me. Just by happenstance, but he was actually one of the camera operators, and I think Chester the Fox was sick one day and we needed extra help, and so he put on some silly clothes and did a voice, and I just fell in love with his character. And I called him last week and I'm like, come on, I'm doing this show. You remember Jeff Landis? You remember that 14-year-old kid? And he's like, oh man, that's just living in the past. He has this gravelly voice. He runs a tobacco shop in Louisville, fine cigars and stuff, but he's always embraced the cigars. And I'm like, no, it's not living in the past, it's nostalgia. And he laughed, and it's good to get a laugh out of Lawn Boy, and he said, you know, that's true, it is nostalgia. So he gave me that one.
Yeah,
but I still didn't get him on. I said I might be calling you during the interview and trying to get you. He won't answer the phone. I know he won't.
It's all right.
Suspicious.
You know, it's all right because you know sometimes some people want to leave that in the past. But again, like I said, it's a bug, and that's why I keep doing it to this day. And again, that definitely means a lot coming from you for what you just said. Because there's been times where I just want to just give up this business. But again, like I said, with comments from you, what you've been saying, that's why I keep doing what I'm doing. Again, like I said, this is one of my favorite episodes I've done. I mean, I've interviewed tons of celebrities in this season and last season, but right here, this is my childhood right here.
Yeah.
That I grew up with locally, and it's like I get to interview the last Happy the Hobo.
Yeah, I remember meeting Mike Fry when he in character. I never got on the show, but I met him at a basketball game, and I met him in the studio when I was playing the character. That was starstruck. I was in costume, and here comes the real deal into the studio, cracking jokes. I mean, the people that worked at the station that crossed over from Mike's day to mine, I mean, all they ever talked about was Mike, and you hear such great stories, and his sense of humor was incredible, and his jokes. One of his jokes popped into my head, and he said, "What did one eye say to the other eye? Between you and me, something smells." You know, it's just like goofball stuff, things we probably call dad jokes in this era, but yeah, I love the guy.
Yeah, like I said, it's crazy because, like I said, people's always watched it, and you know, like I said, by having you on, it's like, wow, you know, this show still does exist. I mean, you can go on YouTube and you can find it almost anywhere. I mean, granted, I think there needs to be more episodes. And earlier, before we were talking about the footage thing, you know, what happened with the whole footage? Because to this day, people want to see. Because, like, say, for instance, I'll tell you a story that I was on. I don't know if you were on that one or not, but I was a little kid, and I think this is my pre-show days when I started doing TV. This is way before I started doing TV, and then I did the hula hoop contest, and then I said, I'll be right back.
So this would have been probably your first appearance.
Yes, first appearance on TV.
And it was on Happy's Place, so there's some history right there.
And I wish I had the footage of that, but I was, like I said, I was a young kid. I came on, I had cowboy boots on, like Bo Duke, you know, saying I was Bo Duke, and then I took the microphone from him, I was like, retard. Again, I was a kid. I didn't. I didn't know.
I
So
mean,
it's
kids
like,
always want to do something silly. We had good times.
speaking of silliness, like I said, not only that I did that was silly, I wish I could find the footage. Uncle Guinea and Gary couldn't find it, but it's okay. I'll find it sometime. Hopefully I'll find it somewhere. But, you know, you've seen all kinds of crazy things with what's been the most craziest thing with, because I know kids will say the darndest thing, not only kids, but the reactions there. But what's the craziest thing that's happened to you when you did Happiest Place?
Well, I mean, there's just so many crazy things, but one of the most awkward moments that I ever had was signing autographs, and I was a smoker back then. Kids don't smoke, okay? It's bad for your health. Anyway, I was a smoker back then, and a heavy coffee drinker. I still drink the coffee, but whitening toothpaste has gone well. But my teeth were yellowed from all that, and I remember this little girl. She said, "Happy, why do you have yellow teeth?" And I was like, well, you know, it was a little embarrassing. So, you know, it had me rethink my life choices. One of the most tragic things that ever happened as a juggler, as a performer, I did a lot of, so you know Happy's Place as the show, but I'll tell you, the biggest experiences for me were what was happening outside of the show, you know, outside of the studio, when I would be in parades, up on the embassy stage on New Year's Eve, 1998, I think. That was an incredible moment, you know, towards midnight as it was moving over to partying like it was 1999. But one time I was in Glenbrook Mall for some reason on a raised stage. I think the Power Rangers were there. I hated the Power Rangers. They destroyed television. But, and I was juggling, and one of my favorite things to juggle is billiard balls. They're dense, they're heavy, they're just the right shape. And so I do three balls. So I say, I'm going to juggle 3 balls, and then it's, you know, it's sort of an inception joke. Well, I was on a race stage. I'm a horrible juggler, by the way. I drop stuff all the time. You saw me drop something before the show. I'm like, I drop. But I always had a rule for the audience is anytime I drop something, you clap. So then I'd knock the hat off and make them clap or whatever. And so it's kind of that positive reinforcement even when I was goofing up. But I dropped one of those 3 balls, and it had this momentum, and it rolled straight off the stage, and then gravity down to a little baby in a stroller, bam, right in the middle. Oh my gosh, I felt horrible. Oh, I still, to this day, and that baby just cried, but did survive the incident, the baby did, and so did I. The parents didn't beat me up. No lawsuits, so I'm not under a gag order on that one.
That's good for sure.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of autographs, you know, like I said, I don't normally ask for autographs because, you know, I'm a professional. I try to keep everything professional.
Yeah.
But like I said, since I looked up to you as a kid, was it okay if you signed this for me? This 8x10 I got made?
Happy to. This is my original press kit photo. So it's really cool to see one of these in print again. I hadn't seen one in a while.
Yeah, thanks to my friend Sherry Whaley. She does my shirt. She did the Happiest Place shirt for me, and she does everything for me. So thank you very much for everything. Because I remember we were talking about this before, and like I said on my timeline, you see constantly, like Happy, like with you signed all kinds of autographs from like my friend Josh that had, and then my friend Mike. It's like I see all these autographs, and now I get to finally have my own Happy the Hobo. Check that out right there. Thank you very much. It means
You're
a lot
very
for
welcome.
sure. Now, have you signed any crazy like have any crazy requests when you're doing TV? When you're doing Happiest Place?
I don't know about I think this is probably the craziest. 20 years after the show, somebody asking for an autograph. 20. So I'll count this as the craziest autograph I ever signed.
The craziest one right here.
So I'll tell you a couple quick stories.
Go for it.
That,
Time is
that
yours.
stick out. The first day on the job. This picture reminds me of it because I get into the station and I'm nervous as heck, you know, and I'm going to be doing the show. Well, there isn't extensive training for clowns apparently out there, and the way I was introduced to the character, besides my own experience, was they said, okay, here's a picture of Happy the Hobo, and it wasn't me, it was the person before me who was fantastic as well, and we've met many times since, and so it's always fun to find ourselves in the same room, and it's like, oh, this is weird, two Happy the Hobos in the same room. But it gave me a picture of him and pointed me to like the dressing room, and there was all those old clothes hanging up. Now I designed this outfit with a tailor years later, but you know it was just the old same clothes Mike had been wearing probably. And so here's the clothes, here's a picture, here's some makeup. Good luck. So I just sort of you just sort of evolve as you have different ones. And then I knew I had to come out of those curtains, and I knew those kids I knew what they were going to say. You're not happy, because they're expecting somebody completely different. And it took a while to get through that. But, with repetition and time, you become the character, and they don't remember any other, or some new kids are born that don't know the difference. Something happens along the way.
Speaking of the set, my camera guy Joe, we were talking before the show. So I've told a couple people because this is a top secret, show, because eventually tomorrow we're going to let everybody know what's going on.
Yeah.
But I have two questions. One is from Joe, my camera guy. What happened to the Happiest Place set?
I don't know. I remember. So I went when I got dressed that first day. I was off in this trailer. So there was this trailer behind the station. It was a big, like a mobile home trailer kind of thing. And there was a breezeway connected to the back of the studio, and then you went through that back part, and then you were out in the curtains. So I remember one day, for whatever reason, we were renovating the station, and they were getting rid of the trailer, and we did a whole skit around it where Lawn Boy sold, like I went off to work or something, or I went off to do something, and Lawn Boy wanted some gumballs really bad, and I come back, and the trailer's gone. Like, where's our house? We pretended we lived there. And then we had footage of the trailer being towed away. So, like, Lawn Boy had sold it for gumballs. But the set itself, when I was there, the first set I inherited from the original, we eventually tore that down. We had a great graphic designer named Jeff Hinkle. I love the guy, still in touch. And he actually he would do cartoons of the character. And we had our own T-shirts and hats and all kinds of logo merchandise, and he created this whole new bright, colorful set. This would have been later in the night, mid 90s probably, and so we painted the walls. Now what happened to it right now is if you watch Channel 55 News, that's the physical space where Happy's Place was recorded. So just like today, we've got the logo behind us, but these studios are so malleable. It can, next week it could be a cop show for all we know.
That is true. I was helping out with the music video this past Sunday, and I'm going to be in it too. And it's crazy how back then when I first started, there was no green screen. There was nothing like that. Now we're to the point where, so what I wanted to do is, because I know this probably feels nostalgic to you, the Happy the Hobo theme we had, and then we got the Happiest Place. What I want to do is get like the set, because I wanted everybody to know, hey, this is still around.
Yeah.
It's just I want to bring back everybody, hey.
That set
you get what I'm saying, though, right?
is firewood. It's been burned. It's carbon molecules somewhere in the atmosphere. It's probably, that set is responsible for the myth around this global warming I keep hearing about. I mean, it's, 79 degrees? That's not very warm. It's fine.
That's true. But yeah, because I wanted to use that set, but like I said, there was no pictures of the real set itself. And I mean, this is the closest thing, because it feels, like I said, I'm very excited about this. I'm sorry if I keep repeating it, but I'm just very excited that you're doing this for me again. You could be like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to be on TV. Because speaking of TV, when was the last time you've been on TV?
Tonight.
Tonight?
Yeah. I mean, as this airs.
Oh, okay. I'm like, are you going to be on TV again? I mean,
No.
if somebody were to ask you.
I don't know. I mean, there was this little caper I was involved in, and I think there was a blurry photo of me from a gas station robbery. But besides that, and I was in the background. I wasn't the robber.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't remember the last time. I think it was after I left Channel 55. After the show had been put to bed, I created a new character that I call Troutman, because I wasn't sure the legalities of this character. And Troutman did a public access, like an hour-and-a-half thing. And I got to tell you, they must have been desperate for footage or something, because that thing ran for a couple of years. And, like, people would come up to me all the time, hey, I saw you on TV. It was like, that was 2.5 years ago, that was before all the on-demand stuff. So, yeah, it would have been, I don't know, early 2000s.
So how does it feel to have the Happy the Hobo outfit on again? I mean, I know we couldn't do the makeup thing because, issues, but which is understandable. But how does it feel to have does it give you the itch to do it again because you have that outfit on?
It feels good, yeah. I didn't do the makeup tonight. My kids lost my makeup for me. They claim nobody knows where it is, but I'm pretty sure it was a Halloween costume for somebody, and they misplaced it. But honestly, with this beard, this is a real beard. It looks pretty close to it. Just no red dot on my nose. If I had acne, it would look even better. My last actual gig was at a karate banquet or taekwondo banquet, and the instructor, I had great respect for this man, but I'll tell you one thing about this guy, he was serious. And I was trying to be they hired a clown, so he's out there talking to the crew, and it's all about respect. And I was like peeking through the curtains and stuff. I thought I was going to get beat up, honestly. He was not taking my joke. Now, I was allowed to joke when it was my set time, and I did a really, really good, because I could never on TV juggle with knives, and that was always something that held me back. I didn't want kids to get hurt. But at this karate banquet, I mean, these kids could break boards with their hands. So I'm like, I'm going to bust out with this knife juggling routine. And so something that I always get a kick out of is misdirection. That's one of my main pieces of shtick. So I tell everybody, so I've got this, what do you call it, machete. I've got a sharpened machete and a couple other big knives that I juggle with. So I say, okay, I'm going to prove that my knives work. And so I like tossed a carrot in the air and chopped it in half and did all this. And then I put those down and I went and I took out these 3 butter knives, and then I'm like, I'm going to prove they work, and I put peanut butter on some bread. That cracks me up. Nobody else may like that joke, but it just, and then I would juggle those knives first. But then I did the real knives that and nobody got hurt there either. So, yeah, I like that kind of thing. I like to juggle 2 balls with one hand, and then you get 2 balls in a fake hand, and like that, or, you know, those kind of jokes. Those kind of jokes really crack me up.
It's just glad to see you back on TV again. It's just crazy on how, like I said, you started out with, you know, you was a clown before, and then, and like I said, I'm just still in shock. Like, I can't believe this is happening, because again, it's like, you know, I'd never thought in a million years of this happening. Like I said, I have had dreams where I was on a set behind the scenes. Seriously, I had one dream. I was like, oh, cool, this is what feels kind of cool, you know, at Fox, and then behind the scenes, and now I'm like, oh, wow, this is the closest thing I can get, because again, I wanted to do like a reboot.
Yeah.
I've never done a kid's show before. I want to do something like Happy's Place, because people's like, you could be the next one.
Yeah, you
know,
got
I'm not
the beard.
saying and you know, just I've thought about it, and I talked to Aaron about it, and then I was getting a backlash, like, no, just let the Happy the Hobo get on a character do its thing. And I'm like, I just want to try it, because again, everybody wants to see the show back. Mm-hmm. Like I said, you got kids about well, not kids, but
everybody except the sponsors. I think we need to get them on board.
Yeah,
you need some backing.
Yeah, because I don't, like I said, nowadays it seems like that the kids' programming has changed a lot. Because like, if you were to bring Happy's Place back now, it's like kind of like with what we're doing now. It's like how can you make people watch? Because in order to go viral, you got to do crazy things.
Yeah.
Insane things.
Yeah.
So
and it's fairly unpredictable. You know, I think there's a guy on the worldwide interweb that has quite a following just for putting Legos together, like extreme close-ups of assembling Legos, and you know, big 5-year-old fan base there.
Oh yeah.
So you never know what it's going to be, but you know, the humor that we did during my time was, we were just trying to amuse ourselves, and hopefully like something tickled the kids' funny bones. I mean, we did have a giant fox. Let's not forget Chester the Fox.
Oh yes, I remember that.
That guy was always a blast to work with, and we had Froggy. Froggy was incredible. I got to be there during. Froggy was getting worn out, and the puppet was getting worn out, and we got to go through the process of commissioning a new frog. And like, wow, I mean, I guess there's got to be puppet makers out in the world, and the new Froggy was incredible. And we let the gentleman that played the character keep the old one, so he's got. I don't know if he still has it. And Chester got to keep his costume, and I got to keep mine, obviously. So we were real close, but we would get together every week and have production meetings, and you know, we had to put together so much content, an entire week's worth of. You know, we were what you call a wraparound. You got your cartoon, commercial, a little blip. We had a couple of 5-minute segments besides the parts with the kids that were often like you know, going to the zoo and meeting the llamas, or going to the bread factory, and you know, we got to do all kinds of cool stuff like that. And when we would go out to the zoo, we would shoot 7 or 8 segments and kind of sprinkle them out over the coming weeks. But we also wanted to create a lot of our own content And since we had a frog, a fox, myself, and then eventually Lawn Boy, having those 4 characters rather than just one character trying to hold up the show, we were able to do some great improvisational comedy. So we would have a basic concept like superhero convention is one of my favorite ones we ever did. We were at the superhero convention. And it was all green screen, and shadow boxes, things on strings, just silly, and then doing the voices. And yeah, so we were very loosely writing. We were just trying to have fun. We were constantly cracking up, as you would imagine, and a lot of the stuff we did never made it to the air. And then you asked earlier about, where is all the old footage?
Because everybody wants to know about that too.
Do you remember 3/4 tape?
Oh yeah, I
Those
remember.
big giant.
When I
yeah.
first started, that's what we had, the 3/4 tapes.
So at the station, we had an attic full of the stuff, and when we had to make commercials or whatever, or get new shows in, we kept recording over and over. It was really durable that way. It was sort of like VHS, but it held its properties better. But eventually, we needed room, or we changed formats to a different type of modern tape, and we were sent out with all that great old footage to throw it away. And we'd make a game out of it, just swing it around like that, and try to make it into the dumpster. Many a happy hour tossing tapes into dumpsters. But now I think about it, what a crime that was. Who knows what was, and I'm not talking about Happy's Place. I'm talking about, just old newscasts. You remember 55 would have the holiday marathon?
Yeah.
Steve Shine was fantastic. I always got a kick out of Steve. He'd storm into the studio and he would do the news updates. That was before they had a full-time news, and he'd just show up, sit down, start. I don't know where he got his news from. He just tore off some printer somewhere, did his thing, and then he was gone. And it was just, he was such a professional. So just snap, 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 snap. Hello, goodbye, I did it. And then you go home at night and you're watching the news and it looks real. It's like, oh wow, Steve's on top of it. He's running a newsroom. He knows exactly what's going on, And I mean, he was giving real news and weather and all that, but it was very efficient. The magic of TV, how you can take a little, blast into a studio and then have an overnight presence that it gives you that feeling like, radio's got to be like that. Now, I imagine when I'm listening to the radio that somebody probably comes in for an hour a day and records snippets and then puts it in the computer and it just starts doling out, right?
I had Steve Shine on because you know me, I've done all kinds of shows.
Yeah.
I did a reality show, one of those Christmas thing. I got the VIP treatment to go film a Christmas thing. So I had the honor to interview Steve Shine a long time ago. Good person to meet and definitely talk to for sure. And like I said, it's crazy. You guys were live too. You guys were live 2 hours every day except for the weekends. How could you do that, especially come up with new content? Because again, things change.
We were actually recorded by the time it got to my era. The show had been live. You're right.
Yeah.
When Mike did it, but the way we did it is we had the kids come in once a week, filled the studio up, and we recorded everything. Just boom. Maybe it took us a couple hours, and we played 5 games. We did 5 interviews. We did 5 show openings. We did 5 show closings, all with the audience there. So you had that energy, and it was that same thing. Then you're at home watching it, and it looks like, wow, this is live. And I think that was part of really what killed the franchise. Producing live shows became very costly compared to all the content was out there. Cable was coming out. Cable was becoming more prolific. We were up to 13 or 20 or 30 channels, and lots of content that we were competing against, and it was really tough. So we had to do things as economically as possible. So my job, when I found out I was going to be Happy the Hobo, I thought, okay, I've made it. I'm gonna be driving a solid gold Rolls Royce with gold teeth and all those great things, diamond studded earrings or whatever. And no, it was like a 4-hour-a-week job. And so that's why all the extra stuff became important, because when I would go out in the community, that was when it got more lucrative. Eventually, I found a different way to stay at the station full time. Wrote commercials and produced commercials, and eventually moved into other aspects of television. For the next, once Happy's Place was over, I was still in the TV business for a good number of years.
Speaking of that, we're about to wrap this up here pretty soon.
Okay.
Before we go, what would you say anybody out there that's watched Happy's Place? Anything you would say to the fans?
Hey, thank you. If you're still around, thank you very much. Oh, I recognize you. Yeah, and you. I remember when you were on the show. You were little. You were a lot younger, but we had good times. Thanks for having me, man.
Oh, no problem. Thank you guys for watching A Dose of Landis. Thank you very much. This definitely means a lot to me for sure. Adrian, happy the hobo came on. Thank you for watching A Dose of Landis. My childhood dream came true. Got to interview the last Happy the Hobo. See you guys later. I'm out like a knockout.